What if we took hundreds of expert opinions and got the most voted names for every NFL award and gave out those honors before the season even started? I'll also give you my personal predictions for every single NFL award and my predictions to lead every single stat at the end of the video. First, how we got the predictions for every single award. I took hundreds of expert opinions from NFL.com, from ESPN, from social media. Basically, anyone who posted award predictions on the internet, I plugged into my specific sports designed AI tool and had it give me an average, had it give me the most votes for each player for each award, and I'm bringing you the results. Starting with Coach of the Year, the experts have picked Ben Johnson as the coach that's going to win it. He's in his first year coaching with the Chicago Bears, and apparently Caleb Williams is going to have a great year according to experts. I just don't know how the guy that wins Comeback Player of the Year wins Comeback Player of the Year, and Ben Johnson wins Coach of the Year. You'd think to become the Coach of the Year, the Bears would have to at least be in the division contention, maybe win the division from the Vikings or the Packers or the Lions. But Aiden Hutchinson is still the Comeback Player of the Year also. I guess it's possible that you could be the Comeback Player of the Year and not be on the team that wins your division. That is more possible than the Coach of the Year. So we would have Bears at the top of the division and then Lions in second, I guess. Defensive Rookie of the Year prediction, no surprise here. When you average out all the experts, the name that comes up the most is Abdul Carter of the Giants. Obviously, he's set up to start immediately for them and be a game wrecker immediately for them. He's got Dexter Lawrence in the same D-line as him, so I don't hate this pick because Dexter Lawrence is going to free up some one-on-ones with tackles for Carter. And Thibodeau, too. Draft the Giants defense. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I completely disagree with the experts on this one. I'll tell you guys my award predictions and my predictions to lead every single stat. The experts are going with Ashton Jeanty. I say it every time that this guy's name comes up. I think Ashton Jeanty has a chance to be a bust. And it's not just my Chargers bias because I hate the Raiders. I do hate the Raiders. But I'm also being honest with the Raiders fans. And I've been doing this for 5-6 years now with the Raiders fans, and they don't believe me still. I've been right about the Raiders predictions more than I've been right about any other team in the entire league. And I'm telling you, it is not a good recipe to draft a running back inside the top 10 picks before you build the O-line. They had a 32nd ranked rushing attack last year. 32nd! And they made 0 additions, if anything, subtractions to their offensive line. They didn't add some star wide receiver out wide that's going to lessen the box load that Jeanty's going to face on a week-to-week basis. They didn't add anybody. They subtracted. Again, you lost Jacoby Myers. And then on the defensive side of the ball, when they have to stop the run to try and get Jeanty back on the field to try and run the ball, they're going to be Swiss cheese up the middle. Who's playing linebacker for the Raiders this year? Who's playing D-tackle since Christian Wilkins was let go? Who's going to be out wide since they traded Ja'Cory Bennett for some reason? They didn't have safeties before. They ain't going to just pop up out of nowhere. You have to draft or sign them. I just don't see Ashton Jeanty being set up for success, let alone to be the best rookie of all offensive rookies this year. Matthew Golden's going to have a great year. Cam Ward's going to have a great year. My Rookie of the Year pick's going to have a great year. My unbiased pick. Which brings me to the big boy awards, the Defensive Player of the Year. No surprise. They're predicting Myles Garrett to win it. It just seems like it's going to be Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons. That's the guys every year. Last year, a cornerback won it, though. So maybe you guys should give some guys like Kyle Hamilton, Derwin James, these guys that rack up a lot of stats in the secondary, a shot at winning this award. Try not to spoil my prediction. Jamar Chase is voted to be the Offensive Player of the Year. Triple Crown winner last year. I'm assuming that the experts who predicted him to do this probably all have him winning the Triple Crown again this year. And then the experts MVP is actually the same as my MVP pick. I think Lamar Jackson is going to come out angry. And even if the Ravens don't win the Super Bowl, at minimum, Lamar Jackson is going to put up the most disgusting, most filthy, most insane stat line we've ever seen at quarterback. And put it all to bed that there's no argument who the MVP is this year and win his third. So I have Lamar Jackson also winning the MVP. I'll work my way backwards from there. A guy who I think has everything built around him, who's already shown he can put up MVP level numbers. I think Baker Mayfield's going to win the Offensive Player of the Year this year. And I think he's going to be a guy that's in the MVP race throughout the year, kind of how Jared Goff was last year, kind of how Brock Purdy is every year statistically. And everyone's saying, is Baker Mayfield the MVP? And then, you go with the logical choice in Lamar Jackson in the end. My Defensive Player of the Year pick is Will Anderson, and this is the one I'm putting money on. I just think with Derek Stingley and that secondary lurking, Will Anderson's going to get a little bit of extra time to get after the quarterback. And he's really going to step into that dominant edge rusher role that we expected him to step into. He was very good as a rookie. And when you got Danielle Hunter on the same D-line, a bunch of other guys on this D-line, in fact, that can take away blocking, just like I think they can do for Abdul Carter in New York, Will Anderson is just going to rack up the stat total. And when I talk about stat total, I mean the sack total. I think he's going to finish the season with a lot of sacks. He's going to lead the league in sacks. I don't want to reveal it yet because we're going to tell you my stat leaders in a second. After I did all that ranting about Ashton Jeanty, my offensive rookie of the year pick is Amarian Hampton. And my defensive rookie of the year pick is also Abdul Carter, along with the experts. Comeback player of the year, and this is another one that I might put money on, because if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, how good he still is at football, I think it's impossible for him not to win the comeback player of the year, because CMC will be in the MVP conversation if he's healthy for full seasons. He's just that good of a football player. That's the question, though. Can he stay healthy for a full 17-game season? I'm going to bet on it, but I wouldn't. I'm kind of hoping with this pick. And then for the coach of the year, I have Kevin O'Connell winning it back-to-back. The first back-to-back coach of the year award winner since Joe Gibbs in 82 and 83. The reason why I have Kevin O'Connell winning back-to-back Coach of the Year awards is because last year he coached Sam Darnold up to almost winning the division, and this year I have the Vikings winning the division with J.J. McCarthy, a new quarterback again. Normally, the guy who won Coach of the Year last year would have no chance at winning it this year because they would say that his team is already set up for success. The Coach of the Year is usually a guy who takes a bad team to being a good team. I think it's going to be Kevin O'Connell, although I do want to give a shout-out here. There's a few teams that I think can go from trash to really good really quick. One of them is the New England Patriots, and I think Mike Vrabel could end up the coach of the year in all of our nightmares. Bill Belichick 2.0 has arrived. You could make an argument for Jim Harbaugh as well because he did take a 5-win Chargers team last year to whatever they do this year. But I'm not going to include that in my argument. It feels like I'm being a little too biased at that point. All right, let's talk about who I have leading every single stat in the NFL. It goes along with my awards. But first, if you never met me before, hi, I'm NFLMike, an NFL content creator that creates NFL content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and twice on Sundays, especially now that football's back. If you're an NFL fan and you love football, please help me keep doing what I do, which is spend all day of my life covering all 32 teams so you don't miss anything while you do what you do. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. You can be here every time we post, and then like the video. That is the free way you can support all my content, and it helps in the YouTube algorithm so much. Just 50 likes can equal 5,000 extra views, y'all. My leader in passing yards will be Baker Mayfield this year. I have him throwing for 4,950 yards. But I do think the touchdown leader will be Lamar Jackson overall and as a passer. I have him tossing 47 touchdowns and probably running 5 or more in as well. Leader in interceptions this season will probably shock everyone. I think this guy's getting a little too confident. I don't think that his receiving core is going to be so good that they swat down a bunch of interceptions. I don't think they're going to create a bunch of separation for this guy to get easy completions. He's going to be throwing into traffic a lot. And I do not think that this quarterback has a great offensive line like a lot of people do. I don't think he has great pass blocking running backs to give him extra time to get this pass off. I think Bo Nix is going to lead the league in interceptions this year. I have him throwing 15 interceptions. That's right around where the league leader is each season. I have Derrick Henry reclaiming the leading rusher title with 1,750 yards rushing as well, on top of Lamar's passing touchdowns. Derrick Henry's going to get him down there, and then Lamar's going to exclamation point these drives. For rushing TDs, I don't know if a quarterback's ever led in rushing TDs in NFL history, but we are going with Jalen Hurts. Tush pushing his way into first. Justin Jefferson's going to lead the league in receptions. I got him going for 120 this year if he could stay healthy. And if he has 120 receptions, I also have Justin Jefferson leading the league in receiving yards, 1,680 yards. But I have him losing out the touchdown race. I have Justin Jefferson scoring 12 touchdowns this season, and Brian Thomas Jr. on a Jaguars team that's playing down a lot because their defense and their secondary can't stop a nosebleed. I got Brian Thomas Jr. going for 15 tutties this year. Draft him in fantasy. Promise you it'll pay off. There's a league I actually regret every day not reaching on Brian Thomas Jr. in round 1. I went Puka Nacua, then Brian Thomas Jr. went, and I didn't get him at the turn. Ended up with Jonathan Taylor instead. And man, a Puka Nacua Brian Thomas Jr. team looks a lot different, but even a Brian Thomas Jr. Jonathan Taylor team to me feels better than Puka Jonathan Taylor. I was trying to play the board. In sacks, I told you guys I have Will Anderson leading the league in sacks. I'm going to give him 19.5, just shy of 20. And then I have Derek Stingley, his teammate. And when a guy gets a lot of pressure, he forces a lot of interceptions. I got Stingley going for 6 interceptions and being tied tie with a bunch of guys for the lead, but I'm gonna shout out Stingley here as my prediction to lead the league in interceptions. And then in tackles, we got to give Zaire Franklin his respect. I didn't give you the expert prediction for tackles. They said Roquan Smith. I should have told you, but I got Zaire Franklin. This guy finishes in the top 5 in tackles every year, top 3 most years. He's probably gonna be there again this year. Let's bet that he finishes it in first. That's my picks. If you want my full record predictions and week 1 predictions, those are already posted on the channel. Go and check those out. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video. It helps me out so much. This chain is fake. I need all the help I could get. Who's gonna win every single award this NFL season and lead in every stat? I guess sooner rather than later. The ball definitely won't lie.